Hi everyone, this is Shelly, and I am doing a ULB mini. I don't know how many of you have heard about these ETs that were in the mall in Miami. It kept coming across my feed a lot over the week, and a few things went through my mind. Like number one, it was CGI. Number two, are these actual residual beings that are coming up from dumbs, or just what is it about this? So I decided to ask Brysentia if she would come in and talk to us about ETs and about disclosure and the different things that might be happening. So here we go. Greetings. It is I, Brysentia. I come to you at this time to talk in part about what Shelley was asking me about, but also to talk about the fact that moving forward, more and more, you are going to be hearing about non-terrestrials. You can call us aliens, ETs, non-terrestrial, alternative life forms. There's so many different words that people want to use to speak of us, and there is no specific right or wrong about any of it, although some are a little bit more derogatory and not as nice as others. The problem arises in that you've just coming out of about a 50-60 year period of time in which it was given permission for the Greys, which were part of more of a investigative type of non-terrestrial, to make experiments on humans. Some of what they were doing was harvesting DNA. Some of what they were doing was just literally experiments on the body and trying to determine what it was to be human. At the end of it, not nice for anyone that was going through that. Now, the vast majority of the people that were abducted were those that had an agreement that that was going to happen at some time in their life. Did it have to turn out the way it did? When people make these karmic agreements before they come into the earth plane, it usually is for something kind of loose or kind of in general. And then the way things actually turn out, it's not always the same. So it's not always nice. It's not always what you anticipated prior to coming into the earth. So as we continue on, we have literally been cleaning out this section of your universe. You could call it your galaxy. And what we're cleaning out are those that have kind of come and gone and been in and out. They've lived inside the earth, on top of the earth, out in the universe. And they've had a whole team of ships and people that have moved around this part of the universe with the clear intention of taking control, manipulating, and owning this part, these planets and these people. So it's a mindset that is different than the human mindset. The human mindset, it's in your DNA. It's integral within you that you are loving, compassionate. You are here to support one another. You are here to live your best life possible. And then from your soul experience, okay, I'm going to incarnate for this experience. I'm going to incarnate for this experience. I'm going to incarnate out in the universe. And all of these things were for the purpose of soul growth. Where you are right now is you're very fresh and new from clearing out the old negativity. If you will remember, there was a time just recently, what was it, about 5 or 6 months ago, about creatures in the Amazon that looked like the mantis. And that was indeed what we saw when we tapped into that. And so another thing to take from all of this is that there are many non-terrestrials that do not look humanoid. They look like what you might call insects. They look like like machines. They look very, very, very different than human. They look like animals, what you would consider animals. And it's important to know that the appearance is not necessarily the intelligence, or it's not what they are going to bring to any given situation. So remember that if you encounter something. Your key is to always say, are you of the light? And anything that is of the light will say, I am. And you can, like I believe I said in the more recent, like you send this ball of energy out from your heart center to connect with whatever it is that's around you. Now, all of this may happen instantaneously when you come into contact. If you go into meditation, you program it, you set it up that anyone that you meet immediately, boom, let's check them out, because they already have either checked you out or they're going to be doing the same when they come into contact with you. And you will know if something is low vibration or high vibration. If something is low vibration, then they'll disappear because they won't stay in the presence of you in your high vibration. If they are of a higher vibration, then they will feel, oh, they just checked me out. It's okay. So let's go now to Miami. And when we look at what was happening there, we're just seeing the image in Shelly's mind, and maybe she can find it in here and overlay it. But there was an instance where what they were saying to the police was that children, adolescents, were having a fight with one another in the mall. However, for those of you that saw it, there were hundreds and hundreds of police cars that went there. And what they said was it started off as 8 foot, then 10 foot, then 12 foot. Now it's up to 16 feet is my understanding. Aliens that were walking around the mall, and it was creating a ruckus, obviously. So the question that Shelly is asking me is, were these true aliens? Was it CGI, or just exactly what was going on? And the answer is yes, they were aliens. The answer is one came from inside the earth, but one came from outside, came in on a ship. They were not there to eat anybody. They were not there to kill anybody. They were there to kind of set an energy or get a sense of what was going to go on, meaning in the future as people come in. There was also CGI. They had the ability, like from their physicality, they would project. So where there might have been 2 of them I'm picking up on, it looked like there were 4 of them. So each one was projecting something else to give the humans, from their perspective, an illusion that there was way more than what was there. Now, they stayed long enough. They did engage. We understand that, and they're saying, yeah, they did shoot those guns at us, but it didn't do any damage. It didn't, we had armor on that just deflected whatever they aimed at us. Okay, that's a great idea. So Brysentia say, is there one here that's talking? So let us see if Brysentia can just connect with who they are. Greetings. Yes, I was one of the ones that was involved in that. And we went there for 2 or 3 different reasons. Number 1, just to see how humanity would react to us. Number 2, it was requested that we go at that time because it would be a distraction from other things that were coming out in the world. And number 3 was to see how could we survive in the atmosphere of the earth. So we succeeded in all that we wanted to do. We were invited to come in at that time, and it was with the agreement. We are not particularly interested in coming back again anytime soon. Our perspective of the earth plane is that it's not yet where it needs to be able to receive us in a friendly and helpful manner. We come from a small planet that is out further in your universe. You probably have never heard of it. Symbolia is the name that's coming through. Brysentia. But we have been on many of the ships that have been patrolling around the earth, and so we have participated in the clearing out of the earth. If you consider those reptilians that were there, they are not our friends. We are not a part of that. What we would like for humanity to understand is that we look different, and humanity needs to learn how to expand its consciousness so as to know that people can look different. That doesn't mean negative. So I'm here. I thanked Brysentia for this opportunity to be able to say hello to you. Maybe you'll hear from me again, maybe not. I'm not the liaison that she is. I'm more so, I get missions and I go and I do those missions and then I go back out to the ship. But thank you. Namaste. Namasnania. Sorry, Shelly's in the background laughing. It is I, Brysentia, once again. Well, there you go. You had it directly from one of the beings that did go in there. Now, he's saying that there were two of them, but they put forth an illusion, so it looked like there were more. And when you look at, there are no video accounts. Someone said that they were, my perception is that phones were taken away from people and that there were a couple that did get out of there with their phones. However, because their vibration was so different, it wouldn't necessarily be picked up by a phone. So don't worry about it one way or the other. They were asked to come in at that time to be a distraction, we believe, from all the political things that are being released. They were also there. They wanted to see how they would do on the earth plane, and in his opinion, it was a failure. Earthlings are not ready for them. But he did say the atmosphere was different than the last time that he'd come down to be on the earth plane. Whether he said that in the group or just that was a message conveyed to me. So there you have it. You will be hearing about more and more instances. It is, of course, a lot easier to see people like me, even though I may be blue, but to see people that look a little more humanoid than something that was that tall. Their true height is about 12 feet, and they did actually kind of shrink down their perception that people had, so that when you heard those different numbers, 8 to 10 to 12, they were all correct because that was the illusion that they were putting forth. But there will be more instances such as this, and perhaps, and there have been many, many times that those of us that look very humanoid have already been interacting with you, but the people were clueless that they were actually someone coming in from another universe or out in the galaxy. Be aware, be open, be loving, be confident in who you are, and just see what happens. Thank you, and Ansaluia. Well, that was interesting. This is Shelly again. That's all I'm going to say. That was interesting. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.